Bring the action. You know that? It's a TikTok.
Is that a sound clip?
It's a TikTok. A lot of scandalous things happen with that TikTok sound.
What's the there's a lot. I'm hearing about these sounds. I'm hearing a lot about these TikTok sounds.
Yeah,
because you can take the sound and then put it over any video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
When I come to visit in December, we're making some TikToks. We're making TikToks.
Yeah, get ready for
Anything
it, folks.
on TV is returning to just TikTok, which was my idea.
That's a good idea. That's true.
You remember I came up with TikTok back in 2015?
Of course you did.
Anything AO.TV
Was supposed to
be an ever-changing channel of random things popping up.
It's true. It's a good point. A very good point.
You click and it's a random thing. You could change the channel, but you don't know what it's going to change to.
Right. Great idea. Hey, welcome to the show.
Everyone.
Welcome to the Weekly Wrestle.
Welcome to the Weekly Wrestle, Volume 43.
Wow.
Volume 4. You like volume?
Volume's fun. Should I change the graphics to say volume?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't know. This is our first Sunday edition.
Yes, first Sunday. No, we've done it once before.
I think we've done one other Sunday, yeah.
And also, I am coming to you live from beautiful, sunny San Francisco.
Incredible.
The sound's pretty good. Can you hear me from up here?
Yeah. Where are you?
What? I'm on a light pole.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm on the top of a lighthouse.
Oh.
And the light's facing right in my eyes right now.
Yeah.
I'm just like shooting this way. Probably gonna fuck up some ships, but what do I? That's
hey, it's okay.
That's the game. It's like the bat signal.
Isn't that how Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson ended up stranded? Is that what they were? You ever see that movie?
Oh yeah.
It's wild. Wild film.
Wild
film.
Outstanding. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is the Weekly Wrestle. We talk about a lot of things here, but this Loser Leaves Wrestling overall.
Yes, overall.
Overall,
the institution that is Loser Leaves Wrestling.
Join us on the Discord. We're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, we clearly, we mixed up our signals before you all call us out. We mixed up our signals. I went sleeveless Sunday. Red went sweatshirt Sunday
because of the agreement the week prior.
Well, also, with you being on top of a lighthouse in San Francisco, you need a sweatshirt. It's cold up there.
I can't. Yeah, it's freezing. It's absolutely freezing. You have a fun week?
Yeah, I saw a great movie last night. I really enjoyed it. I saw a documentary called Meet Me in the Bathroom, which is based on the book Meet Me in the Bathroom, about the New York music scene in the early 2000s. It was very fun. It was very good. I just got done doing my
drugs.
That's possible. It's possible. I just got done sitting for this painting for this painter. It was good. It's a good session.
Yeah.
It's a good session.
Good Instagram content when it's done.
Little did I know that we have our very own model in our presence every week. Tam,
everyone give it up for Tam. Beautiful Tam. Follow Tam everywhere. Follow Tam's Twitch.
Yeah.
See,
this is the charming thing about Tam. We asked Tam if last show we asked Tam if he had a beard, and like how he feels about beards. And he's like, oh, I'll show you. And he just sent us a bunch of sexy hot pics.
Sexy hot fucking pics. Why aren't you the lead of this show, Tam? Jesus Christ. Fucking, like, you're a good looking guy. I'm a good looking guy in our own rights. But Tam, Jesus
global.
Christmas.
Tam could be a global phenomenon.
Global phenomenon.
If he wanted to be.
We have to start talking about this damn show. We can't just talk about, we can't just feed Tam.
We gotta get into it. We gotta get into it. This is interesting because we've got 2 shows that we can technically talk about.
Okay, well, yeah, let's talk about oh my God. I only want to talk about one thing on Rampage.
Well, that's the thing that pisses me off about Rampage. Can we get into that real quick?
Yeah.
They did, for the first time in what feels like months, they put a really interesting match on Rampage. Shibata versus Orange Cassidy. Really excellent. And then they were like, oh, cool. Well, we put this one interesting match on Rampage. Let's just put a bunch of bullshit after. Nothing matters. Nothing fucking matters.
Absolutely. It was just bad.
Ricky's promo was like
bad.
Not good, but needed. Because if you want, he's going to be, did you see that bracket for the title eliminator?
Yeah, yes.
Ricky is literally going to walk into the finals.
Yeah, because they put a bunch of jabronis in there.
Yeah, exactly.
They literally put jabronis in there. I'm sorry, Ethan Page isn't going to win. Lance Archer hasn't been seen in forever.
Yeah.
Dante Martin just woke up from a nap he was taking. Like, it's just, it's just like all the people they forgot thrown into a match, and Brian Cage.
Right.
Why
Who's
the hell
still
is Brian
like
Cage there?
A jobber. Like a glorified jobber for the company.
Why the hell is it? And so, yeah, but either way, the opening match, which is the only match to talk about, is Shibata versus Orange Cassidy. In a very good match.
Yeah.
But what it screamed to me, Shibata needs to be hired because he's amazing.
He's incredible.
He's incredible. And he should not have lost to Orange Cassidy.
He shouldn't have lost. He should not have lost. And I know.
And like Orange Cassidy wouldn't hurt Orange Cassidy none.
No. You know what they should have done? Because so I think Shibata is going to get, he requested 2 matches. And he's going to get those 2 matches. But what should have happened, he should have beaten Orange Cassidy, become the champ, and then fought Danielson. And then Danielson beats him and becomes the intramural champion. And then he can go to Japan and he can defend the title in Japan. He can,
which is what he wants to do.
Which is what he wants to do. So like and then that title immediately gets all of the like stroke that it needs. Now, now that Jeff Jarrett's in the company, I can say
Shibata wouldn't be a full-time ever again.
No, I don't think so. I think Shibata's technically a New Japan employee. He's the head trainer of their LA dojo.
But is he not allowed in an NJPW ring ever again?
That's also true too. So I don't know.
What a fucking double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But that was that. Do we have to talk about anything else?
No, we can move on.
Crown Jewel. Well, actually, there's a lot of Crown Jewel talk, but like, what are your thoughts on Crown Jewel? What do you?
My honest thoughts are I fell asleep for most of it, but what I saw, I liked. I thought it was okay. I take issue. I mean, the main thing I want to talk about. So why don't you go through what you enjoyed, and then we'll talk about the main event together? Because the main event I saw,
I thought it was a top to bottom good card.
Oh, yeah.
With good wrestling.
Yeah.
It made short when it needed to, long when it needed to.
I disagree with that, but that's
I'm upset. I'm upset with it being in Saudi Arabia. I really wish it wasn't.
Of course.
But I'm trying to think of the matches off the top of my head right now.
How did you feel about Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley? We talked about that a little bit last night.
So I thought it was good. I thought it was very good. And Brock puts in a lot of work.
He put in a lot of work.
Brock is not lazy. Yeah. Brock is taking bumps he does not need to take. He is always jumping higher than he needs to. Like he's always jumping so high. He gives so much. He sells so much for people. Mm-hmm. It's nuts, actually, come to think of it. And he sells in such a good, believable way. Made Bobby Lashley look good. This is just setting up for another match. But I think that you want to know what my thoughts are on the next match. I thought it was a good match, but the next match is going to be a squash. Bobby Lashley's going to squash him.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. Brock loves the squash because then he comes back and gets his win back on an even bigger stage.
Yeah.
Like they're going to fight again at Survivor Series. Bobby could squash him and then he gets his win back at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something
like he did with
Bobby
Goldberg.
has to go back. Bobby has to go back to being heel.
Yeah. Well, I think the one thing that Triple H should do that he hasn't done yet, reform the Hurt Business. What's going on here?
Well,
get the Hurt Business back together.
I think they're gonna, but we have something to talk about the news about that.
Interesting.
Just with MVP specifically.
Oh, I noticed MVP wasn't there with what's his face.
Did you hear why?
No. We'll talk about it. I don't know.
What else was on the show?
How did you feel about the women's
Bailey
versus
Bianca? I thought it was a good match. I liked them both, but Bailey took a nasty fucking bump off that table.
Did she?
Yeah, nasty bump off the table. But she looked okay. Good match.
And then it finished, right? She like stuck her between the ladder and she couldn't get out.
Yeah. But one thing I don't like is the obviously Saudi Arabia and the women all seem pretty sad that they have to cover their entire fucking bodies.
Yeah.
And just that. Who else had matches? I loved the Judgment Day versus the Club.
Oh yeah. That
was a very good match.
It's the best wrestling I've ever seen Luke Gallows do.
Yeah. Because honestly, he's treated more seriously and he's a good wrestler. And this is the best I've seen Damian Priest.
Was there a spot? I might have dreamt this. I don't know. Is there a spot where Luke Gallows was running wild? He got the hot tag and he's going crazy. And then Finn comes in and then there's either like a miscue or something, or like Finn trips and just runs through the ring and just eats shit.
Oh, I missed it.
Well, all I know is that he runs. Gallows like goes to like clothesline him, but he misses, and then he just falls out of the ring. You just hear just hear Finn eat shit. Yeah.
That's very funny. I missed it. I was paying attention, but I wasn't like glued to it like I am with Dynamites because it's too long.
It's too long. It's a long show. Long show.
Yeah. Anything else that happened on the show that was?
The main event.
Oh, and Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, and Logan Paul is a gem. He's a gem. He should not be face, ever.
Yeah.
He's too hateable. But him and his brother should be tag team champs and beat the Usos.
I don't think this match should have been as long as it was.
Yeah, it was too long.
It was too long. And I understand, Logan Paul is
the best 3-match wrestler ever.
Okay.
It's such a unique feat. No one else has gotten
for someone who also did go through the training too.
Of course, it's like he has all the money in the world to be trained by the best people.
I think he was training independently.
Yeah, and he's also an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
So he has a lot going for him.
Yeah, I just think again, Roman Reigns is your 2-year champion, and you're talking about Don Morocco and Pedro Morales and Bob Backlund and Bruno Sammartino. And then you talk about Roman Reigns. Well, let me tell you something. Bruno wouldn't have gone 30 minutes with a guy who's had 3 wrestling matches.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I think this should have been a 10 or a 15-minute match. This should have been a sprint. But instead it was just this to me is all of the matches Triple H used to do when he was heavyweight champion. They would be so long. Then here comes Evolution. And then here comes this other guy. And it's just Roman Reigns is not Triple H. Roman Reigns is a monster, and Roman Reigns needs to beat somebody in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think 10 minutes would have been a good or have the same match, but have Logan Paul be a dickhead heel.
Right.
Or something happen that causes Roman to have bad ribs because someone beat him up the past week, and Logan Paul's just man, I'm just going to work over those ribs or something like that. Or something, but either way, I thought it was a good match and a good night, despite the fact that it's a giant propaganda scheme.
Yes. And we'll see. I don't know. I wish anybody knew we were doing the show right now, because then I could ask people in the chat about
sound off in the chat.
Homegirl's hair.
We'll talk
Rhea
about
Ripley's hair.
Well, sound off in the chat if you do decide to come in on a Sunday. I know it's the Lord's Day. I'm playing the sounds, but you can't hear them.
The Lord, a.k.a. Bruno Sammartino's day. I don't know. I was trying to think of a wrestler, but all
Lord
of the
Steven
wrestlers. Regal. Lord Steven Regal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I keep thinking of Tony Schiavone calling him that. Let's go to the news, Roy.
Let's just jump in. Let's just
just jump right into the news. Let's get our feet wet. Number 1 news item of the day, Tam. If you could go to the news section and hit that news button.
R.I.P. Aaron Carter. Is that the first?
R.I.P. Aaron Carter. I was not at all. But number 1 is Crown Jewel drama and aftermath. So we heard about the potential threat
right
to the security of the show which turned out to be not too big of a threat for them because they were just so far away from where any potential attack could take place. But they had contingencies in place, and they were in contact with the U.S. Embassy throughout the whole deal. Logan Paul injured.
Yeah.
Logan Paul injured after the match. Torn MCL. These
God.
are all possible. All possible. Torn MCL, torn meniscus, possible ACL tear.
Oh, my God.
And it was in the middle of the match. And dude continued.
Sure,
I think
tough.
that's why it went long. A little longer, too. Because they had to call it audible because he doesn't know how to call audible.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So all power to Logan Paul.
Sure.
All power to Logan Paul. Hate him as a person, but I want to hate him as a wrestler.
Yeah, right.
Let me hate him as a wrestler.
Agreed.
Sami Zayn never asked. I just found out from an interview. He doesn't reject it. He would, he said, if he was offered, but he's just never asked.
Yeah, they know
because he's
Syrian.
Very pro Syria, and it's just they don't. It's just such a fucked up thing that they're going to this country.
I know.
Where if they brought one of the wrestlers, might die.
Yeah, right.
Here's another one. MVP was definitely not there this past week.
Yeah.
Found out it's because he's atheist. He's a Muslim that a former Muslim that became an atheist, and that is that's a felony. That's like that's punishable.
My God.
So you should, to be an atheist is punishable. And so why are we?
Yeah, right. I know.
There's that, and then Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre had his match, which was a good cage match.
Look,
it was whatever. But
Karrion Kross isn't a very good wrestler,
and Drew couldn't do a lot during that match. He had the flu.
Oh, he had the flu.
But I thought there was different protocol now. Post pandemic. If you have the flu, you don't wrestle.
No. There's I was gonna say if you take a COVID test and it's negative, then you can wrestle, but I doubt they even test anybody anymore.
Oh, I'm sure they do that. They can't. They don't want to risk those outbreaks. Fuck up their PR.
I'm just saying, there was a time at some point where they said they were going to stop testing people.
Yeah, GCW said that.
No,
when the pandemic started.
No,
they're like, yeah, we're not going to test people. Here, piss in this bucket.
It's a really good Brett Lauderdale impression.
We have more to talk about with him.
I'm sure.
We have to keep moving on, Roy. Do you have any thoughts on the Crown Jewel? What are your overall thoughts on Crown Jewel Aftermath show? Everything.
I just ultimately can't support this show because it's in Saudi Arabia, but there's some stuff that was okay.
I can't wait for whatever deal they have to expire because I'm sure it's not forever.
No, I think it's like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so we're probably coming up. It's 2017? 2018, so maybe a year left.
Or maybe 2019, actually.
I hope it ends soon, and so that they can make a more responsible decision on who they work with.
I mean, this wasn't the new regime's decision.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. I hope that they don't want to continue it. Moving on. I wish I had my Heavenly Gates. Oh, Clink.
Hey, go out to vote.
Yeah, go vote. Go vote. Get the Spanish language sticker too.
That's all they had.
Oh, good. We don't need any more English language stickers.
Yeah, let's get it out of here.
I don't want them. Let's get rid of it. But we got. I wish I had my Heavenly Gates.
This is a Triple H gimmick.
Well, this is the next slide, Tam. Number 2. Triple H opens the real Forbidden Door, which is really cool. Triple H really opens a Forbidden Door rather than these fake doors that have been opened, and opens up a real one, like a real one.
What's the Forbidden Noah? Pro Wrestling Noah?
WB working with anyone else.
Yeah.
That's the door. Sure. Small companies are just like, yeah, I want help.
Small companies. AEW is a small company.
Oh, small in comparison.
Oh my God.
Minuscule in comparison.
Oh my God.
What the amount of money that WWE makes?
Sure, of course.
I'm saying it's relatively small in comparison.
Yeah, but also they also are another wrestling company that has a national
AEW and NGPW are huge companies, small in comparison to WWE.
Okay.
You're gonna really hate some of my news today. But Triple H opens the real Forbidden Door, the real sacred one. Shinsuke Nakamura will be facing the Great Muta on a Noah show this coming January, I think.
I think it's January.
January. And that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool that they're doing that.
It's great.
Aren't you excited about the possibilities of it maybe even opening a door with AEW?
It won't, but yeah.
We don't know. Khan is definitely into the idea.
Yeah, but who does, like, at the end of the day, how does that benefit the WWE? They're not going to do something that doesn't benefit them. On a large scale. Yeah, but who wins that match?
Oh, that has to be negotiated. Of course, it can't be
like if MJF's their heavyweight champion and Cody's their heavyweight champion, who wins that match?
Is Great Muta going to beat Shinsuke?
No.
On his retirement tour?
No.
Before his last match? He's going to lose going into his last match?
Yes. That's what happens in Japan. Guys who retire lose all of their matches on the way out the door.
That works?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want him to win.
And also, so what if he loses? It's in Japan.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't care. I just would like Great Muta to have a win against Shinsuke.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think Great Muta could go.
I think he still can.
Yeah. Moving on. Oh, by the way, Noah also asked for permission from AEW. Did you hear about that?
For what?
They were worried about their relationship being affected with AEW if they allowed Shinsuke to come over.
I didn't hear about that.
They reached out just to make sure it's okay, and they was like, "Yeah, do your thing."
I didn't know that Noah and AEW really even had a relationship.
I think there's some
I think the same company that owns Noah also owns DDT, and maybe. AEW has a working relationship with DDT for sure.
That might be the connection.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was cool.
I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. That's how wrestling should be.
Yeah, I agree. And more ability to freelance for these freelancers.
Yeah, because that's exactly what they are. They're independent contractors.
Next slide there, Tam. Sad news. Not sad in like death, but R-Truth got injured this past week. I know Hassan is a big fan of R-Truth, and Hassan broke the news on the Woos and Watts.
Woos and Watts, yeah. Hassan loves talking about the WWE while we're reviewing an AEW show.
Oh, loves it. We love you, Hassan. Every single thing you say is a blessing. Hassan is here.
Hassan has appeared.
Hi there. I did enjoy the Crown Jewel early yesterday. It was awesome. It was a very good show.
It was a good show, Hassan. You missed us talking about it. We just talked about it.
Your ears burning? And you just... Wow, that's crazy. Because obviously they came in before because I just saw it.
Yeah.
Roy, this is nuts.
This is nuts.
Thank you so much for watching, Hassan. We love you. We have to keep moving on. Oh, yeah, no. Our R-Truth tours quad.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate. Great wrestler, but he's going to be out for a while.
Do you retire if you're him? Do you retire?
No, because what he's created doesn't need to be terribly athletic.
Sure. But didn't he hurt his quad on a dive?
Yeah, they're doing it because he's great. He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
He jumped out. He did a senton, not a senton, a over the top rope running senton.
Yeah,
and fell and landed awkwardly on his leg, and immediately they stopped the match. Well, not immediately. They did some checking on him, but we wish R-Truth speedy recovery, and when he comes back, to just have fun being a comedian.
Yeah, continue doing his thing.
The past few weeks, you know what he's been doing? And I just found out like what his gimmick has been since the Triple H regime.
No.
He comes out at random times to interrupt people like Brock Lesnar, people on NXT. Whenever someone says truth, he comes out and he thinks they're talking about him.
Do you remember he entered a Royal Rumble one year with a big ladder and he climbed up to the top of the ladder to get the Money in the Bank briefcase, but it was the Royal Rumble?
Oh, I love it. He's so good. He's
dumb.
So good. Hassan writes, "No, my ears are not burning today. Thank God."
Thank God.
Thank God. And then Hassan writes, "But today is fall break." Oh, good.
Oh, congratulations.
What does fall break mean? Is that like, are you in school, Hassan? Are you in school? Or are you on work? Are you on break from work for fall?
Oh, take a nice little fall break from work.
I'm into that.
I wish.
Let us know more about yourself, Hassan. Number 4. Next slide there, Tam. The fourth piece of news today. The WWE board has concluded their investigation of Vince McMahon.
Yes.
And now let those lawsuits come rolling in. What do you think?
And he's on his own for those lawsuits. Vince is on his own.
Yeah, well, on his own.
Yeah, I mean Jerry McDivitt's still his lawyer,
and he's got all the money in the world to defend himself. But where do you see this going with Vince? Do you see what do you see his last days looking like?
He's gonna be
going to jail.
Chilling. He's gonna be chilling. He's not going to jail. He's chilling. I don't know what lawsuits even. Who's suing him?
Well, I could imagine stockholders have some issues with $20 million or more than $20 million going missing. We don't actually know the figure yet.
Yeah.
With stockholders, those people that were potentially, who knows, because we heard about some consensual things, but also I heard some things about assaults. And
I heard some things about that as well.
I haven't heard any definitive stories yet, besides this one about a female ref from the early 90s. Did you hear about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you hear about the one, the tanning bed technician?
No.
At like a tanning salon in Florida? Yeah, that one too.
Deuces, Vince. I hope you find peace.
Yeah, I hope you get the help that you need. You won't, because you don't think you did anything wrong, but
and he's already so warped.
Yeah, and like, when's that doc coming out? Let's go, Vice. At least that Vince McMahon doc.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Hassan writes, Logan Paul loses the match on the champion. Yes, he did.
Yes.
Loses the match right on top of him. And Hassan says, I'm at house today. I put a home icon. That's good.
Yes, that's good.
Nice and warm.
Sundays are good days to be in the house.
Yeah. Smoke a J.
Grab
a beer. By the way, Mo's reached out to me on the Discord, which you all could all join. Hassan, I'm looking at you. That'd be pretty funny for Hassan.
Yeah, hilarious.
But Mo's reached out to me just like I just realized there's a bunch of texts and voicemails from Mo saying like full beers, and I didn't know what that means, and I just think he wants us to be drinking beers on the next Dynamite, so we have to have a beer. You don't have to drink it, Roy, just have it in front of you, right?
Well, I think I might have one Steve Weiser in the fridge still. I don't know.
Don't you drink that one? You wouldn't like that one.
No, I'm not going to have any of it. I'm just going to hold it.
Oh yeah, grab a Steve Weiser. Yeah, that's good. Well, full beers, undrinking beers. We love you both. But speaking of investigations, can we go to the next one there too? Because a recent report by a reputable source.
Says
that the AEW investigation is reportedly a giant farce.
Who's this reliable source?
Dave Shearer with PWI Insider.
Okay. Keep going.
Not a reliable source. Oh, it is. Yeah. Because first off, any real investigation interviews everyone. And they did not interview everyone. They just interviewed the Elite's camp. And they did interview other people that were in support of what CM Punk said. Not like the wife wasn't interviewed, which is unheard of. The belief is that Steele and his wife allegedly, were paid to keep their mouths shut. And CM Punk's contract states that he has to keep his mouth shut. And that basically they're just going to go what's best for the locker rooms. That's his EVP's saving face. I do believe Larry got hurt. I do believe that dog is missing some teeth. I do believe that they stormed in. And I do believe everyone's backing up what they said because they're the ones with the power. Now, I don't think everyone hates the Elite. I think a lot of people like the Elite. I think Matt Hardy loves the Elite.
Yeah, Matt Hardy does love the Elite. Yeah.
Loves the fucking Elite. I think Chris
a lot of people should love the Elite because a lot of people have jobs because of the Elite.
Yeah, a lot of people do have jobs because of the Elite. Serpentico, Luther,
Christopher Daniels, Colt Cabana, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, Best Friends. A lot of people
that are on TV that are taking a lot of money. And so like there's a lot of support back there.
Best Friends are on TV all the time.
Yeah, I know. I like Trent and Chuck, but it's useless when they're not being used well. When they're not being fair. If they're not being used well,
keep going.
They're just
keep
on
talking.
there for.
Let's get through this.
So everything's a lie. But I'm just saying is that there is more to this than meets the eye. I think that CM Punk is a piece of shit. That what are you reading?
I'm reading the article that you are mentioning because I'm curious what this is all about. But I'm just curious, like, is this just like a guy's opinion?
Well, it's it is a guy's opinion about on a reputable.
Yeah, but here's this. That's fine. That's fine. But you're making it seem as if it's like this. This is maybe this guy's reputable, but it's his opinion, and you're like, this is a farce.
No, but I said it last week. I said it the past few weeks. Why didn't they interview the wife? Why didn't they interview someone that was there to witness it? Like, everyone should be interviewed. And the very thought that they didn't interview someone that would have a different perspective than the others is very shady. It just shows that this wasn't taken seriously. It was done to prove a very specific point that the EVPs are not at fault and that CM Punk isn't good for the company. And the thing is, that may be really true. That may very well be true. But I'm just saying is that I don't trust the Young Bucks and I don't trust Kenny Omega.
Okay. Look. At the end of the day, you know what the biggest issue of all of this is? You can't play us out. I can't hear anything.
Wrong.
The biggest mistake here is that they claimed that they were having an investigation in the first place. What happened at the end of the day, regardless of what happened in that locker room, it happened because of all of the things that CM Punk said publicly about your company. So ultimately, CM Punk is at fault here, in my opinion. And if I'm Tony Khan, fuck an investigation and all that shit. I'm worried. I heard the noise and I'm worried that someone's coming into my apartment, but no one's here. I'm just paranoid. I do what's best for my company and the morale of my company. Because at the end of the day, people like MJF, people like Jungle Boy, regardless of how people are being booked right now, MJF, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, like all these fucking guys, I need to focus on them. Hangman to a lesser extent, even Adam Cole to a lesser extent, because he's still young. He's still in his early 30s. I'm just saying, like, these are the guys that I need to have in my company to build my company for the next 5 to 10 to 15 years. CM Punk's around for the next 2 years, and he's causing rifts and additional tension in the locker room. And the main draw of AEW to a wrestler in the beginning of the company is that there is no bullshit, and this is like a wrestler-friendly company. Meanwhile, CM Punk comes in, changes the dynamic of the locker room right as Triple H takes over WWE and makes WWE a more wrestler-friendly company. Tony Khan has to do what he has to do to get that locker room back, and if it's getting rid of Punk, it's getting rid of Punk.
I get it. But changing the narrative to support your reasoning for getting rid of him is a different thing. Yeah. You didn't interview potential people, and you're kind of gaslighting potentially. We still have to find out more, and we will, but I don't think that's right. And the thing is, CM Punk wasn't all bad. I think there was a combination of things at play. I do feel Colt Cabana is a victim in all this.
Yes.
I do think that Hangman Page went into business for himself the first time. I do believe that CM Punk unprofessionally retaliated back twice, too many times, and was not punished or talked to about it. And then Roy, you ever get really angry and say something stupid?
Oh, all the time.
He was just out of a match, pumped up, full of adrenaline, and his body severely injured and traumatized because of the triceps tear. And they gave him a live mic, and the owner didn't stop him. It's all Tony's fault. Yeah. All of it. And then the EVPs, your apparent second in command, storm into a room and storm into the room of the person who's obviously angry to confront them. Yeah. I think the people at fault go Tony, EVPs.
Oh my God.
Punk, Hangman, Colt.
Here's the thing.
Are you okay with that order?
No, I'm not. Punk is above the elite. I would switch Punk in the elite. And the reason for that is because this is literally what happened. Punk said a bunch of shit that was unprofessional, really offensive, he can say whatever he wants as long as it's vague, but he was very direct, very specific, and very insulting. Hold on. That was wrong. And then what did he end with? He said, if they want to come talk to me, my door is open. So that's what they did. They came and talked to him. He said, hey, come and talk to me. He wants to be a big man. He wants to shoot his mouth off. Then here they come. It's a two-way street. You can't say these things and not expect retaliation. And that is something that I think Punk does. I think Punk says a lot of big shit and thinks like, I have a bigger mouth than everybody, so no one's going to talk back to me. And when they do, he doesn't know what to do. First of all. Second of all, hold on.
I'm sorry.
If CM Punk, this is my theory right now because of Cabana reappearing on Wednesday. I believe that CM Punk had a lot to do with Colt Cabana no longer being around in AEW.
Yes, probably.
At first, I really did think it was Tony Khan being kind of a chump and just saying like, I don't want any tension here, so Cabana's not important. Punk's going to stay. We'll stop inviting.
I think
Cabana
that was a
Dynamite.
combination of those two things.
But if Punk had just actively said, if Punk had shown up and said, hey, Cabana, we're not friends. I don't want to talk to you, but I'm going to shake your hand and we're going to be employees of the same company. We'll go the separate ways, whatever. If he had just taken the time to do that, none of this would have happened. Because I think Punk had a lot to do with Cabana not being there anymore, and that turned a lot of the locker room on Punk. Because Cabana has a lot of friends, and a lot of people are very loyal to Cabana, and it is unnecessary to treat him that way. And that's where this all started.
I believe that, but I do feel there's a lot of this story that we have yet to see.
Sure, of course.
Namely, what the Elite are doing to that locker room. Because I feel like a lot of people are silent. There's a lot of people in there that CM Punk
they always will be silent.
But I think not everyone around them will be silent soon.
I think everyone will be silent because they got everybody their jobs. So they're going to be loyal to the people who they got jobs from.
The grass isn't going to be watered forever. You know, the thing is like eventually he will let go of people that are his friends. Are their friends, you know, like I can't imagine some of those people that are being paid there right now that are, if you go down that roster, honestly, if you look at the roster page on AEW, you're just like, they're still a part of the company.
I can't wait for Pretty Peter Avalon to spill it all.
I'm not worried about, I'm just saying that I think there's more to this. So we have some comments.
I think there's more to it on both sides. We haven't really heard a lot from Punk, and I don't believe this Larry story. Except for really don't.
You don't believe that his dog got hurt?
I don't hear that. I don't believe that because there are sources who aren't on the Elite side and aren't on Punk's side, just like people who are in the middle.
Who are these people in the middle?
You don't think MJF's in the middle?
I don't know what MJF said.
I'm just saying.
I don't know what MJF said.
He hasn't said anything.
People that have talked about it, that we do know their feelings
are Chris Jericho, and that's
Jericho
and Hardy.
Matt Hardy.
Right.
And Matt Hardy saw everything. Oh, maybe not everything. I was there at All Out.
I'm just saying. MJF was in the room. And MJF isn't on anyone's side. But what I'm saying is when Meltzer, who to me is a much more reliable source than Schur, and I know you don't think that because you think that if anybody, whatever, but Meltzer said in his piece about this that he spoke to people on Punk's side, he spoke to people on the Elite side, and he spoke to people who were in the middle. And the people who were in the middle said Larry didn't get hit with the door. Punk was not paying attention to Larry. No one was paying attention to Larry. Kenny picked up the dog. This is a person who is in the middle. Kenny picked up the dog because it was on the ground. And that's when Homeboy bit him because he thought that he was trying to hurt the dog.
Yeah, well, after he picked up the dog because he hurt the dog and he felt bad, he picked up the dog because he didn't want him to get hurt anymore, which makes sense. And I don't think Kenny purposely tried to hurt the dog. I don't think anyone tried to hurt the dog. I do think the dog got hurt. And I think that Meltzer's connections, all of his connections, are the people we know are his connections. Like, I don't think MJF is talking to Meltzer.
I 100% think MJF is talking to Dave Meltzer.
I don't think MJF is talking to Dave.
I think MJF grew up a wrestling fan and grew up reading the dirt sheets and wants to contribute to the dirt sheets.
No, I think he grew up a wrestling fan.
I would be reading. If I was a wrestler, I'd be calling Dave Meltzer every day.
Oh no, yeah, but then no one would trust you anymore.
But only in these situations.
Like the Young Bucks and Omega, no one trusts them because they are the direct line to Dave Meltzer and AEW information. So anytime you hear Dave Meltzer come out with this new thing about that is literally coming out of the mouths of Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and the Bucks.
That's not true. That's just
for the most part. Look, like they love and they are open in their love and support of Dave Meltzer.
They don't. Everyone is open about their love and support of Dave Meltzer, except for the people who are get the subscribers, get the followers and all of that, because there are all these fans that are anti-Dave Meltzer. So they also jump on this Meltzer bandwagon. All of these people who are anti-Meltzer are people who fucking subscribed to the Observer for years and years and years and years. Jim Cornette subscribed to the Observer for like 30 years. And now he's anti-Dave Meltzer.
Well, because
same with Bischoff.
I'm not like, I understand there's reasons to like and dislike Dave Meltzer. I like and both dislike him, and I read what he writes, and I trust some of the things he says. Just like all wrestling journalists, I trust some of the things they say. Sometimes when it's clearly conjecture or it's clearly rumor, you can't really trust that. They're going off of their sources, but if we know who their sources are, there is a bias. There is a bias to those sources because they're all friends. Not everyone talks to Dave Meltzer. Not everyone does, because someone like MJF wouldn't talk to Dave Meltzer because he loves reading the dirt. He loves being an inside story, but he doesn't want to give anything away ever. He doesn't want to overplay his hand. He's too selfish. And honestly, that's great. And that's smart of him, but he would never play both sides that way. He'll play both sides of AEW and WWE, but he's not playing with the dirt sheets and AEW because he wants to protect the things that he's doing. He is so involved in his stuff and making sure his stuff is perfect that I don't think he's a gossiper.
Don't you think it's ironic that you're saying that some of it is conjecture and you're basing this entire story off of a guy's conjecture? Like, this whole article is conjecture.
No, it just confirms my theory that I said last week that it is a lie. We have to talk about some of these. We got people here, Roy.
Who's here?
We haven't said hi.
Who's here?
First off, Hassan writes, Bailey loses the champion yesterday. It was bad. Yeah, I wish she won. Woodsy the Beast is in the chat.
Woodsy the Beast is here.
Oh, WTF. I wasn't notified of the Weekly Wrestle.
Yeah, we're moving to Sundays.
We're moving to Sundays. New deal. Hassan writes, guess what? Full Gear coming up on AEW Dark, and Raw is on tomorrow night.
Yeah.
When is Full Gear coming out?
19th. The 19th.
19th. That's exciting. Good stuff. Then Woodsy says, oh, wow, Roy actually reading the article instead of forcing Red to do everything.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, Woodsy.
Hey,
we have agreements on things.
Hey, Woodsy.
We just burst the work.
I appreciate it.
Don't come at Roy like that. Come on now. I'll defend you. Woodsy B says security footage is out there. 100% just a matter of time till we see it. I don't know if there's going to be security footage in a locker room. I just don't see that.
Good point.
Because I think.
But also, is it a locker room? Like, if it's Punk is like a private dressing room, like would there be...
it was a private dressing room for him and his dog and Ace Steel and his wife, and she was injured, so they just had they have so many dressing rooms back there. You could just grab one. You know,
interesting.
I think I don't know. Belle Renee is in the chat. Renee.
Sorry that we're yelling, Belle.
Belle, how are you? Hi guys. I take everything Meltzer says with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, I know.
And I will join Discord soon. Promise. Things just are a little too hectic right now. I know. Honestly,
we hear you, Belle.
Whenever you're ready, Belle.
We hear you. We'll be around. We'll be here.
We're around, dog. Thank you so much for joining the chat. We miss you. Brett's in the chat. Turbs is in the chat. LL Dub. I love the chants.
Yeah, the chants are great.
Always great.
Always great.
Brett says, people on Twitter saying Logan Paul's buckshot lariat was better than Hangman's. I have the hot take that the move sucks no matter who does it. Oh, I love you. Honestly, he did a great job.
He did a great job
with it. But it's a hard move to do, and I think Hangman does a good job.
I think Hangman does a good job. I also think
he has a 90% success rate.
Yeah.
I like the other one, the Deadeye.
Yeah, the Deadeye's way better. That used to be his finish. Yeah.
Should be his finish.
And
it's pretty safe when done well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hassan writes, yep, Brock Lesnar loses the match last night. No, Brock Lesnar won.
Yeah, but then got beat up after.
That's probably what you're talking about, son. We have to keep moving on, Roy. We spent way too much time.
We can fight about this forever.
We will fight about this forever. It's kind of like our Joker Batman segment.
Yeah, we both can't wait for the full truth to come out. So one of us is right. One of us is wrong.
One of us is right. I hope one of us is right. We're both wrong.
Yeah.
It's fucking Dustin Ruddles. He's just running the show and he's a piece of shit. We're going to the next slide there, Tam. Also, real quick before we go to the next slide, CM Punk merch is still available on AEW Shop, and new merch has come out for CM Punk.
Really? That's interesting.
An ornament, a Christmas ornament with CM Punk on it. So that might have been pre-ordered, already made.
Yeah.
Why are they selling it? That's kind of weird.
Well, the question is he still on the cover of the video game? Probably.
Oh, I hope so. hope so. I hope so.
Why? Why are you so adamant about that?
Awesome. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega's video game is baby.
Yeah.
CM Punk. Let's go. Wizzy B says, who says the camera are in the room? We most likely have the footage of the hallway with the Elite being the triggered the door. We should
definitely
see that
have
doorway.
that.
That's a good point, Wizzy. That's a great point.
And it is actually a really good point. And I hate admitting this, but it is a really good point as a dog owner myself. If someone bangs on a door, the dog is going to run towards the door.
Run right to the door.
That's a good point.
And the thing is, like, they may not have thought they heard it.
Yeah.
You know, they could have swung
probably,
the door open, and the dog was acting like
you know, make there's a lot of things.
And then I do believe that Kenny didn't want the dog hurt, so he like lifted it up. And then I do believe Ace Steel's just like, you just hurt the dog, let go of the dog. And then
which is funny because it's not, but I believe so. Okay, I kind of do believe that, but I don't think Punk's side said that Punk swung because they hurt Larry. That's not true. I don't believe is true. I believe, based on what I've read, I believe that Punk had no fucking clue what was going on with the dog, and he was just ready to fight regardless.
I don't believe that.
I completely believe that.
Just like you with your dog, you always know what's going on, Goose.
Yeah, but I'm not CM Punk.
In our fake storyline, yes, you are. We talked about this.
That's true. That's a good point.
Come on now. You're breaking storyline right now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Brett says, I do think Logan's looked way better, but I dislike Logan more than I dislike Hanger. So
Thank
Hanger
you.
wins.
I like Turbs. I like that you call him Hanger, even though you hate him. I think that's sweet.
That. Honestly, it's very sweet. Oh God, we love you, Turbs. Bell says, I loathe myself every time I have to admit a Paul brother is good at something. Yeah. Honestly, the Paul brother, I hate myself.
I don't know who they are. They just got famous on YouTube.
I just know they're bad people.
Yeah.
They're just bad people, and they act like bad people, and they sound like bad people, and they honestly look like bad people.
Well, the other one looks worse than the one that wrestled.
They just act like assholes.
Is that true?
Act like assholes, and they do asshole things, and they're so disrespectful. Like, you heard about the Japanese Forest thing, right?
Oh yeah,
Suicide
I did.
Forest.
Yes,
that's him when he was a kid, like 10 years ago.
Jesus.
Hassan writes, the Disturbed new album Unstoppable on November 11th.
Oh,
you like Disturbed, Roy?
Hassan likes Disturbed. I don't like Disturbed that much, no. But Hassan, I support you.
I liked them on SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 soundtrack.
I feel like Disturbed was on every WWE, did the song for every WWE show for like 5 years.
Pretty sure it's Jim Johnson and like in a wig. Brett says we'll have footage of the brawl out when the Elite return and show us the work.
That would be amazing.
If it happens, I'd love it. Yeah. Honestly, that would be great. If they all during this entire thing, and I believe everything that happened, but like they all got together, and then Punk's just like, listen, hey man, I'm sorry for calling you out the way I did. And I hope they apologize for the dog, and they all apologize, and Colt and him hugged, and they're just like, now let's never talk about this again. And they go out in the shadows, and then they just go back to acting mad and being all mad. And then it's all a big setup for next year.
I'd love that. It's never Punk's too big of an asshole for that, but yeah. I wish, the thing is, like, again, Punk thinks that he has the biggest mouth in every room he's in, and Punk thinks that he's like the man's the man. So he thinks he can call somebody out. They're not going to come out, and Hangman is like, what the fuck's your deal, bro? Like, hey, this isn't 1999 anymore.
Dude swung at, I do believe that, if nothing else, I do believe that he'll back up what he says. I think he's a weenie with how he says it sometimes, but I think if confronted, dude will go. He doesn't sure.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why he never got in a fight with anybody at WWE, because no one ever confronted him. They were just like, oh, Punk's being crabby, whatever. But the Bucks were like, you just said some fucking disrespectful ass shit about about our friend.
I do think that the Bucks have been saying disrespectful things to CM Punk, to Meltzer. We have to keep going. Brett says, I'm down with the sickness, Hassan. We're all down with the sickness.
Turby would be down with the sickness.
Turbs is down with the sickness. Brett says, will Slapnuts be in the AEW game after I make him in every attire? Every attire he's ever had? Yeah, of course, Brett. Mose is here.
Hey, Mose. We were talking about you.
Mose, you missed it. We were talking about you saying full beers next week, like 2 weeks ago, and I forgot. So we're going to be doing full beers this week. Full beers at the Woos and Whats because of Mose. Everyone has to have one full beer. Don't drink it if you're sober.
Yeah.
Don't drink it if you're sober, or get a non-alcoholic beer. But we're all
John Moxley loves non-alcoholic beer.
Let's go. I'll get O'Doul. Wait, do you want to get O'Doul's?
No, I think beer tastes gross. I don't want it.
I never had O'Doul's. We don't know.
It just tastes like beer, I assume.
We don't know.
We don't know. That's true. We don't know.
You're getting O'Doul's. I'm gonna get you Uber Eats O'Doul's. Mose writes, who is opening the zipper for PP?
What? Mo's coming in hot.
Brett says PP dub. PP dub. Hassan writes, Jake Paul did a good job on debut yesterday.
Who's that?
I actually didn't think he did.
That's his brother? I thought his brother's name was Aaron.
No, he died.
No, Aaron Paul's an actor. Aaron Paul's Jesse from Breaking Bad.
All right, bitch. All right, Mr. White. Mose writes, people are people anyway. Any should it be you, and I should act so awfully. Red. Not a clue what that means.
Got that right.
Hassan writes, yes, I do like rock and roll and metal. Okay.
Would you like new metal?
Hassan's a little bit new metal and a little bit rock and roll. Woodsy the Beast says, does a root beer float count? Because I ain't 21 yet. Woodsy the Beast. When are you turning 21? We have to wish you happy birthday when you do.
Woodsy, can I tell you something? Red and I used to host a show every Monday night, and we would just bring root beers for the audience. The audience would always have root beers because we love a good root beer.
Roy, you need to get root beer for the show next week.
I think you're right, Red. I think I got to get some main root.
Mose, I respect you. I'm going to have a beer in one hand and a root beer in the other.
And a root beer in the other hand.
And Woodsy, you better get some root beers and take a pic of those root beers. Honestly, if you have a good root beer connect or good craft root beer, let Roy know. Roy's into craft root beer.
Love a good root beer.
Hassan writes, Impact Overdrive is on November 18th. Do you work for the TV Guide?
I can't wait to see Moose versus Bully Ray.
Actually, I like Bully Ray.
I know you are.
I'm excited for it. Mose writes, Depeche Mode reference, and you blew it. What's a Depeche?
That was a Depeche Mode reference?
People are people anyway. Should it be you? And I should act so awfully. Red. I don't know who Depeche Mode is. What the fuck is Depeche Mode?
It's a band, dog.
That Personal Jesus?
Yeah.
Days of.
Hey, we gotta keep rolling here. It's like 5 a.m. for Tam.
Oh my god. Hassan writes, yes, I do. Bell writes, in a way, I hope Punk goes back to WWE just so we see who's conceded between him and the Paul brothers. Who's more conceded between him and the Paul brothers.
Funny. That's good. Bell, love that. Love that line.
I love it, Bell. Thank you so much. We have to keep moving on, Roy, because we have a lot to cover.
Yeah, let's go.
Number 6, next slide there, Tam. Jeff Jarrett is all elite. Jeff Jarrett beats the shit out of Darby Allin, and he's now the director of live events and house shows.
That's really exciting because if they're going to start doing house shows, which I think they should, and they're probably going to start doing Ring of Honor house shows as well at some point, they need somebody who's good at it, and Jeff Jarrett's really fucking good at that. So that's the right call for them. And I think Alvarez put it well when he said, like, if he's going to show up and be on TV on a regular basis for the next 2 weeks, 2 months, and try to get some people over, get some people show other sides of other people's personalities and all, great. I'm all for it. But even if Jeff Jarrett came back and wrestled Sting and they had a weird one-on-one, I'm in. I'm into it.
I am looking forward to him versus Sting and Jeff Jarrett versus Darby Allin. Because I love the idea of a Memphis wrestler trying to be like, no, we're keeping it in the ring. We're keeping it in the ring. And then Darby's trying to do all this other stuff, and he's taking Jeff out of his comfort zone. Jeff Jarrett's trying to work him in. That would be a fucking great match.
I think it would be a lot of fun. And you know what? They didn't get to do this in GCW when Jarrett did his thing in GCW. Him and Effie should have had a bloody bunkhouse brawl. They should have had a fucking street fight, and they never did. So let Jarrett have a bloody, old Memphis style fucking brawl. They're in the concession stands. They're doing the whole thing.
Turby Turby will see.
Slappy.
Turby writes, during Punk's Straight Edge Society run, he pulled me from the crowd and shaved my head, and I've been straight edge and bald ever since. So I'll be drinking a root beer Wednesday as well.
Come on. There's no way that's real. There's no way that's real.
Honestly, Brett, like, seriously, tell me though. Like, seriously though, tell me though. I want to hear that. Son writes, of course, I see Beyond the Impact Thursday. Okay, outstanding.
Yeah, Beyond the Impact. That's a show.
Yeah, that's good. Bell writes, what the hell was all that with Tony D's ex-lackey though?
Oh, Cole Carter. The guy who came in before Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, let's not talk about
we all don't like
honestly,
that.
I get what you're trying to, let's just breeze over that one. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't. Honestly, I don't want to discuss. That really upset me. Cole Carter. Cole Carter. I fucking hate that dude. No, I'm not making fun of you, Bell. I'm making fun of Tony Khan. We have to keep moving on.
Yeah.
Because we have some good news. Cole Cabana's back in the company. Next slide.
Yeah, you love it. You love to see it.
Not back in the company, but back on TV. He's been in the company. Still signed with Ring of Honor. This is probably just a one-off for AEW TV because he really doesn't fit in with the product right now. I think he'd do a much better job in Ring of Honor. I think he makes much more sense there.
I mean, but he was also agenting. He was doing agent work for Dark and Dark Elevation, and I hope he gets to continue doing that because he apparently really enjoyed doing that, and I think a lot of the talent really enjoyed working with him. So,
yeah, I hope so. Moving on. Also, he'd be great for the house shows, like house show run.
Oh,
he's a great live event person.
He's a great live. Like, if you ever get a chance to see Cole Cabana in person, go. Not you, but to everybody. Like, he, especially on an indie show, he's so much fun. He's so much fun. I watched him wrestle Sammy Guevara at a show in Austin in 2017, and I was the biggest dork in the history of the world when he talked to me. I didn't know what to say to him. Did I tell you that?
No.
I was standing next to him at his merch table, like during intermission, me and my girlfriend at the time, and he turned to me and he was like, "You guys like the show?" And I was like, yeah, I did. And like, we were part, of the scene at the theater, and he'd done stuff at that comedy theater. So I could have easily been like, hey man, actually I'm part of the new movie. Yeah. He'd done stuff at the New Movement. Yeah. In both Austin and New Orleans. He'd done the Megaphone show. And I could have easily like talked about that and all of that. But instead, all I could muster was, do you like wrestling at the beginning of the show or the end of the show? That's all I could say to him. And he was like, the beginning for sure. And then I was like, oh, good answer.
And then as you walk away, he's just like, good kid, slow. Good kid. Brett says, Punk never pulled me from the crowd, but I'm a fat, bald, and straight edge, just like Festus was back then.
Oh, that's sweet.
Festus was like that, and he changed it because he was on drugs. That's why he's acting that way.
Yeah, right.
That's why he was like, and then he was not on drugs anymore. And that's honestly
so funny.
Terry Gordy's kid is the one who got him on drugs.
Yeah.
That was Jesse. Remember Jesse and Festus?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, of course.
That's Terry Gordy's son.
Yeah, you got to hear the story about. I'm not going to tell it right now, but you got to hear the story about them going to Vince's office. Yeah,
you did tell me about this.
Yeah.
Bell writes, I know DW. Who's DW?
I know DW. DW Arthur's little sister.
Hey, DW! Whoa! Mose writes, Colt still has no figure.
Yeah, he should get an action figure. He deserves one.
Hassan says my mom is cooking dinner. What is she cooking, Hassan?
What's she cooking, Hassan?
Woodsy says, was the fake Sting not Hook? Fake Sting was cold farter. Brett says
cold farter.
Brett says biscuits and gravy. Woodsy the Beast says biscuits and gravy. Are they cooking biscuits and gravy?
That sounds great.
Brett says, GOAT tag team, the OC sucks. GOAT tag team, the OC sucks. I'm not sure who you're saying is
who's the GOAT tag team. Yeah, if the OC sucks, who's the GOAT tag team?
And then Bell says, don't worry, means don't worry. Oh, I know, don't worry. And we're like, hey, DW. Whoa! We have to keep moving. We're fucking up.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Next slide is Gary Jester and Delirious have joined MLW.
Good for them. And, do you remember last year when we were talking about how we were going to start watching MLW on a regular basis, and then we never did?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but like because, good for them
because WWE nuked them on Vice.
Yeah, right. That's why we were going to watch them on Vice, right? Yeah.
Oh, Brett says, no, Biscuits and Gravy was Jesse and Festus' theme song. Jesse and Festus are the goats. And then writes, Biscuits and Gravy. We got to keep moving on. Oh, but Delirious, that's good for MLW. Good for them.
Yeah, sure. Those are both experienced people who are good for that company.
Next slide there, Tam. This is something you're going to love, Roy. This is something you're going to love. GCW shows and archive are now available on Fight for $4.99. So just for the cost of Brett Lauderdale's haircut, you can watch GCW. You can watch GCW as much as you want. Roy, what are your thoughts on this? How do you feel?
I'm waiting to see what other companies join Fight Plus, and if there's another couple of companies that I'm interested in, I'd purchase it because it's $5. It's really affordable. I know,
but there's just so many $5 things that I have that are equaling a lot of bucks.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
No, you got Apple TV?
No. I wish. I have fucking Chromecast.
No, but I'm saying Apple TV, like the streaming platform.
I do, but I can't stream it because I don't have an Apple. They don't cross compat. So I have to watch Apple TV on my computer. So I just never watch.
Have you? How are you able to watch the Weird Al movie? Are you able to watch the Weird Al movie?
I'm gonna figure that out.
Oh man, I watched half of it last night. It was great.
No spoilies.
No.
We have to keep going, Roy. We have to keep going. Next slide there, Tam. Rick Ross appeared on Dynamite.
Accusations.
And just a quick thing about that. He did great.
He did really well.
False. He had also, all that was done.
What?
In one take.
I love it. I love it.
Looked it. It sounded it.
Yeah.
But he did.
It was real.
Apparently was really impressed with Rick Ross. So
yeah.
Hopefully they bring him back.
I love it. Bring him back.
And the last and final slide. The XFL have announced their team names. You want to go through them?
Yeah, they're doing that again. They're not going to stick with the old names.
No,
from the 2020 relaunch.
No. Well, maybe they are the same names.
What am I going to do with my New York, New Jersey Hitman shirt?
Oh, I'm so sorry. That didn't make the cut. There is no New Jersey, New York team.
Really?
There's no East Coast team. Well, there is an East Coast team. Let's go through them.
Yeah, let's go.
And we're going to decide whether these are bad or good names and if we should change them. Arlington,
Texas.
So Dallas, Arlington, that place just north of Dallas.
Yeah.
Arlington Renegades.
Don't like it.
Don't like it. What would you change Arlington to? What?
The Antlers.
Okay, let's write this down.
The Arlington Antlers.
You're gonna have to remember this, right? You're gonna have to write it down. I can't remember.
Right.
Write down Antlers. Arlington Antlers. Now here's another one that just fucking sucks. But so Washington D.C., right?
Yeah.
D.C. Defenders.
Oh, I'm okay with the Defenders.
You think the
it's not a good name, but
it just sounds like BattleBot.
So what would you name the DC then?
Oh, the January 6th committee. The Capital Busters.
Capital Busters?
Yeah, DC Capital Busters. Here's one. Actually, this is the only one I like. Oh no, it's coming up there. Houston. They got the Roughnecks.
Oh, I like that. I like the Houston Roughnecks. Like that, right?
Do you remember SmackDown Just Bring It? And you had 4 things each character had: strength, weakness, like charisma, and roughneck.
Yeah, I remember Roughneck.
Arlington, we have a lot of comments about potential names. We'll just go through them real quick. Brett says Rick Ross and Keith Lee in a custody of Swerve ladder match. Brett says half of the XFL teams are in the same city and have the same name. Rose writes Orange is making the AAC real, Red, and you need to open your heart.
Yeah, open your heart, Red.
He's the one making it real. Brett says Arlington Armadillos.
That's a good one.
I like that a lot.
That's a good one.
Brett says Roy just likes alliteration. He's a simple like Colt said.
It's true.
Roughnecks we're keeping. So we're keeping Roughnecks.
Yeah, we're keeping Roughnecks.
So we still have the DC Capital Busters.
Yeah.
Arlington Antlers. And Orlando Guardians.
See, that sounds like shit.
That sounds like garbage.
Yeah, the Orlando Octopuses are way better.
Orlando Octopus.
No, Orlando Garbage is great.
The Garbage Pickers. Yeah. No, it's Orlando Garbage. Yeah. This one's just weird, and I think this is a direct correlation to The Rock. San Antonio.
Ugh.
By the way, third Texas.
Why are there so many Texas teams?
Because they got the space for it.
Yeah.
San Antonio Brahmas.
Oh, yeah, I don't like
Brahma
that.
Bull?
Yeah, why wouldn't they just be the San Antonio Bulls? Right now.
The Brahmas. I hate it. What do you want to name them? San Antonio what?
The San Antonio Bulls.
Okay, San Antonio Bulls. Okay, let's go. Fuck, let's go. Woodsy to B says the XFL revision 2020 was legitimately great football.
That's what I'd heard. I heard it was good.
Did they actually start?
Yeah, they played like 2 weeks, then everything shut down.
Oh man. Bell writes Arlington Crocodiles.
Oh, Crocodiles is fun.
We don't have any crocodiles. We'll save that for another one.
Instead of the Orlando Garbage, it's the Orlando Crocodiles.
Yeah, Orlando will be crocodiles because they have gators there.
They have gators there.
They don't have crocodiles, but they'll do.
They got crocs.
Brett says Orlando Blooms.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Now we have.
What about
Seattle?
the Orlando Jones? Remember Orlando Jones?
Oh yeah, 7-Up. Make 7 up yours.
Yes.
Seattle as probably the second best one. Sea Dragons.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in.
I'm into it. I'm into it. Not as good as Roughnecks.
I would just be the Seattle Dragons rather than the Seattle Sea Dragons, only because there's already the Seattle Seahawks. So I would just go with the Seattle Dragons.
I agree with that. I think that's good. Now here comes the most boring thing. St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yeah.
Boring. Call it the St. Louis Steamboats.
Ooh, the St. Louis Steamboats is fun. Chugga, 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 chugga. Yeah.
You know, I think Chicago have Bulls copywritten. Bell says that's true. That's probably right. And Vegas. What do you think the Vegas is?
The Las Vegas Gamblers.
Vipers.
Oh, the Vegas Vipers. There you go. There's some alliteration.
The Vegas Addicts. What's scarier than an addict that wants to win?
Yeah. Okay.
No.
The Las Vegas Anonymous.
The Las Vegas Anonymous. Vegas. We would like alliteration. Vegas. The Vegas Variables.
Ooh, the Vegas Vixens.
The Vegas Vixens. There we go. Put that down. Write it down. Well, we'll email The Rock. We'll email
time. So many is that? That's 8 teams?
Yeah. Just enough for a tournament.
You got to feel bad for Seattle being so far away from all of those places.
Yeah.
Why would you put a team in Seattle when there's only 8 teams?
None in California. None in New York.
Yeah.
None
but don't worry, we have one in Seattle.
In Illinois. We have nothing above DC.
You didn't want to put one in Michigan? You didn't want to do the Kalamazoo Cattle?
Mose writes the Las Vegas Degenerates. Suck it. That was like that's a 2000 XFL. Like the Hitman, the Degenerates, and the Fuckbusters, and
oh yeah, that's right. The Tampa Fuckbusters.
Honestly, one of them should be called the Bronco Busters. The Vegas Bronco Busters.
Oh, that's fun.
No, Boston should be Boston Bronco Busters.
The Boston Bronco Busters.
Yeah. Brett says, how did they not get a single California team? That's crazy.
Probably too expensive. Yeah. Gas is so
okay.
Expensive.
That's the end of the news.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. The Hall of Fame.
You go first, Roy. You have to go first.
The person I'm inducting into the LLW Weekly Hall of Fame almost died 5 years ago and came back this past week to wrestle in his first match. Not only his first official wrestling match in 5 years or almost 5 years, but maybe his first ever wrestling match in America. I don't know if he's ever wrestled in America before, but I'm going to mispronounce his first name, so I'm just going to use his last name. My chosen entry for the LLW Weekly Hall of Fame is Shibata.
Oh, excellent job, Roy. Excellent job, and I think that's well deserving because he's worked.
Shibata deserves it.
Great match for someone who hasn't wrestled in a long time. Awesome match.
Yeah, really great.
He's in great shape. Really needs to get got.
Yeah,
but we have to go to the real winner this week. No offense.
Oh. Here comes Logan Paul.
No, not Logan Paul, because this guy, he's done a lot this year. He's worked in several companies at top levels, keeps getting brought in. The guy can't die. You can't kill him. And he's not bad. He's not
Nick
good.
Nick Gage, baby.
Ain't he great?
Yeah. That's great.
Jeff Jarrett, JEFFJARRETT, Brett. And we're gonna be
we love Slappy.
Jeff Jarrett has
we do love
Jeff
WWE,
Jarrett. GCW, AEW. What else has he? He's worked in another company. this year.
I mean, he worked Ric Flair's last match.
Like he's in a lot of places.
Promotions, technically.
He has a great name. Slapnuts. He's great. And honestly, he's good for a locker room.
Yes.
He's good for talent.
Especially now.
Like, is he great for TV? Depends on how he's used.
Depends on how
putting him with Jay Lethal is smart, because Jay Lethal, honestly, I don't think Sanjay's cutting it. I don't think Suttonham's really doing the stuff.
Suttonham rules. Get out of here.
But we need Jeff Jarrett bringing that all together. It really ties it together, honestly.
Yeah.
It feels like Memphis with him there.
Like, I love this idea. Like, put together a fucking TNA stable. Get Frankie Kazarian in there. He's not doing shit. Bring him into the stable. Like, let's go.
Christopher Daniels in there.
Yeah, get all these X Division guys and have Jeff Jarrett lead them, and have Jeff Jarrett say, "I believed in all of you decades before the rest of the industry did. I was the first person to ever give you that opportunity. Daniels, you were all over the indies. You never got on television until I put you on television.
Jay Lethal, I made you Macho Man. Yeah. Sanjay Dutt, I put you in the office. Suttonham, I raised you as a child, Suttonham." The Brett writes, "Slapnuts, my world, my world, my world." Mose writes, "Horse shit, PP pick." Brett writes, "Bree woo, bree woo."
There's a lot going on right now.
My world. Brett says, I have historically been a Slapnuts hater, but I've decided I'm all in for the meme of it all. And then writes, "The theme song is the only reason he's over with me."
Oh, that theme song is is that what that is? That's what you're Brett's doing the theme song.
I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate that theme though. That's the thing I hate most about Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
I want to come out like with guitar.
His old country music.
Yeah, and Mose writes, "Can we get Ring of Honor before Impact 2.0? No, honestly, I'd prefer Impact 2.0.
I would rather Ring of Honor go be Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Bell says, "Bring Dixie in as a valet." I'm
Love
kidding.
Love it.
But we have to get out of here, Roy.
Yeah,
Thank you to our Loser Leaves Wrestling Hall of Fame, Shibata and Jared.
Thank you.
Do the noises like kids clapping.
Yeah.
I don't have sound today. Thank you all so much for joining us. This has been the Weekly Wrestle Volume 43.
And thank you to our hot beefcake Tam for
thank you to Beefcake Tam Kaboomy Beefcake. Tim Kaboomy Beefcake.
Pretty funny.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a great night.
See you Wednesday.
1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring
Olay. Olay.